A very warm welcome. You're watching the 3 p.m. newscast with me, Akanksha Swaroop, on CNN News 18. Let's begin the telecast with some breaking inputs coming in. We begin with a CNN News 18 mega exclusive. CNN News 18 has access locations of training camps in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Sources tell CNN News 18 that 3 prominent clusters of terror camps are fully operational in Pakistan and PoK. Now, the areas we are talking about are in Manshera, Muzaffarabad and Kotli. These centers give arms for training to cadre of multiple terror outfits that work mainly as feeders to launch pads located in the forward areas in Kashmir. Now, most of these cadre in these camps are youth recruited from South Punjab in India. That's a big story we're breaking to you. The CNN News 18 has accessed exclusive information and exclusive documents that bring us details about locations of training camps for terrorism in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. There are 3 prominent locations which are rather clusters of terror camps that are fully operational. And mind you, there are launch pads for terrorists in forward areas of Kashmir, and we are looking at 3 major areas. One is Manshera, the other is Muzaffarabad, and the third is Kotli. Now, these centers are giving arms training to cadre multiple terror outfits. And remember, we are talking about terrorists, and terrorists, where are they from? The location is South Punjab. The youth of South Punjab is being hired for these terror training camps located in Muzaffarabad and Manshera and Kotli. For more details, let's quickly go across to my colleague Anand Narasimhan. Anand, take us through the details.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what we have accessed is details of not just the launch pads, but now the training camps. So it's going backward. That's what we are doing here. Our investigations editor Manoj Gupta getting us these details that the Indian authorities, the intelligence agencies are watching like hawks the build-up. On Friday last, we showed you how these launch pads are positioned very close to the international border. So one of the regions is Shakargarh, and the fact that these terrorist outfits are now combining ranks. So if there is a Bakht Zameen of Al-Badr present there, there is Tala Saeed of the Lashkar-e-Toiba, and there is also Rauf Asghar or Asghar Kashmiri of the Jaish-e-Mohammed. And these 3 Sarganas are also working with a mixed module of terrorist cadre, where the likes of Al-Badr, Lashkar-e-Toiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, the Jammu and Kashmir Ghaznavi force and some of the other outfits are combining ranks. Hizbul Mujahideen, they're all combining ranks. There are about 6 terror groups that are combining ranks to form mixed modules. What we are putting out today is a world exclusive of what is happening just days ahead of the 3rd anniversary of the abrogation of Article 370, that's the 5th of August. It is also symbolic because it was on the 5th of August once again that the Bhumi Pujan of at Ram Janmabhoomi happened. And we are also building up to the celebrations of the 75th year of independence, the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. So on Kargil Vijay Divas, we are putting out the fact that the enemy is using terror groups. The enemy is present there because all these meetings and all these developments are happening in the presence of ISI officers and also members of the Pakistan Army, as someone as the colonel rank is present at these launch pads and at these training camps. 3 training camps or 3 clusters have been identified. Manshera, Muzaffarabad, 2 of the training camps which are present. And what is happening is the cadre are being moved. The training camps are deep in Pakistan, post Balakot. So that's where the training camp locations are coming out. First cluster is the Manshera cluster, where you have at least 2 camps. There is all 3 camps which are present there. There is a second cluster of Muzaffarabad, where again there are 3 camps present, 4 camps present. And then you have the 3rd cluster, which is also coming, which is also being built. So let's try and understand these camps. So one of these camps is being run by the Jaish, where it's a mixed module. Another camp is being run by the Lashkar, and the 3rd camp comes in under the Al-Badr, and where you again have mixed camps. So these are the locations. So cluster 1 is the Manshera camp, and cluster 1 Manshera and the terror camps are Balakot. Then you have Gari Habibullah and Boi. So this is where these clusters are as far as the training camps are concerned. The second cluster is in Muzaffarabad. Now, Muzaffarabad is the capital of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. So, from Muzaffarabad, they are at the Abdullah bin Masood, Dulai, Chelabandi, and also at the Shawai Nala. So, this is where the training camp locations are. We are telling you the training camp locations. From there, these cadre are trained and then moved towards the launch pads, which are about 3 to 5 kilometers from the IB, that's the international border, 2 to 3 kilometers, or bang right next to the line of control. Right now, the movement, the build-up is happening near the international border. That's the information we brought you as far as the launch pads were concerned. One of them is Shakargarh, where even Asghar was seen, Asghar Kashmiri or Rauf Asghar of the Jaish was seen at these launch pads. Now, these terror training camps, the cadre are being mixed. They are largely being traced from South Punjab. So, these are the Punjabis who are coming through, and the Punjabis, from South Punjab, the cadre are being brought. They first are brought to these clusters. So, they are sent across to 3 or 4 of these camps in Muzaffarabad. There are 3 camps in Manshera, and there they are given weapons and arms training. Now, these are the combined training camps across the line of control and also IB. Now, interestingly, what the inside track is that they train together. Lashkar, Jaish, Al-Badr, Hizbul Mujahideen, and also the Harkatul Mujahideen. So, all of these groups are coming together. You also have Jammu and Kashmir Ghaznavi Force, that's also part. So, 6 groups are part of it. The cadre are mostly youth who are in their 20s. They are recruited from South Punjab. Now, interestingly, what is happening is that sometime about a year and a half ago, there was a training video from one of these camps where you could see these people coming back after training, and there was a huge presence of radical clerics, cadre, and of course these trainees with automatic weapons and rifles. The nature of the training, arms, and also fidain or suicide attacks. So, how to fire, how to aim, shoot, and of course then go ahead and conduct these suicide attacks or bomb attacks. The trained terrorists are supervised by OGWs in Srinagar when they come here. These OGWs are also the ones who collect the weapons drop which are happening via drones. Now, the launch pads are right at the IB, and these launch pads, intelligence agencies are saying, are also the origin for the drones. And that's the reason why there is confirmed presence of not just ISI but also Pakistani military cadre here. The weapons are delivered directly to the OGWs via drones, which are again facilitated by the ISI, and these drone drops allow the weapons drop happening, and then the OGWs ferry these weapons to these cadre who then try to infiltrate. And once they come here, then they are equipped with these guns and this ammunition. So, there is the plan to do a Bada Karnama. Also, the fact that these cadre now have been trained in heavy machinery. The recent seizure of huge cache of arms and ammunition has seen a change in the modus operandi, where they have tried to go through short-arm pistol. Now, infiltration to a certain level had come down. Now, they are trying to push. There is also information that we put out on Friday that there is a growing frustration among the jihadi groups who are asked to lay low through the time of the ceasefire, because Pakistan wanted to get out of the FATF grey list. Now, with a favourable hearing and a possible emergence out of the FATF grey list, because there is a regime change, and also the last time they were able to prove to the FATF that they have actually adhered to majority of the clauses that the FATF had put in. So, they believe that Pakistan can emerge out of the Financial Action Task Force grey list. So, the jihadi outfits are saying, allow us to break in because we are training cadre and we are not giving them any action, and we want to get in and go ahead and do some Karnama. There is also the desperation that we are seeing that Jammu and Kashmir is moving towards elections very, very soon. The build-up is towards elections and perhaps a return to statehood. So, as a union territory, elections will be conducted. There will be a Jammu and Kashmir assembly that will be brought inside the union territory, and perhaps a move towards statehood. There are also local voices which are saying the big Tiranga rally which has started on Kargil Vijay Divas, on the eve of Kargil Vijay Divas, to coincide at Dras today. All of that is being watched very, very closely, and Pakistani establishment believes the only narrative that is working for a sinking country whose economy is dying, whose debts are mounting, whose reserves are getting empty, inflation is soaring, price rise, there is civilian unrest. The only narrative that they believe will save this nation or get them any kind of attention internationally, also from and also funding, is the Kashmir narrative or the PoK, and they want to revive this. So, multiple layers to this as these jihadi outfits are trying to get there, get ready. What we are asking is, Should we wait for a Karnama ahead of the 5th of August 2022 or the 15th of August 2022? Or with this information, should we do a counter-strike and another surgical cleansing of this entire region of these launch pads which are brimming with jihadi cadre right now? So you have the launch pads, and behind that, these are the locations of the training camp which are ensconced safely closer towards the Pakistani territory and not in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, be it Manshera, Muzaffarabad, where these clusters are and these training camps are. Muzaffarabad is largely PoK, Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, but they have moved their camps a little inward. Even in Balakot, it's not at the last location that was bombed by India. It is somewhere else and slightly deeper and protected. They're trying to insulate, but we are putting the locations exactly where the training camps are at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen. So that's the update that we have. It's the big update that we are getting you of, and it's a CNN News 18 exclusive. So not just the launch pads, the modus operandi, and of course the training camps. So training camps is where they're trained. That's the feeder service which is serving the launch pads, and there are at least 200 to 500 cadre present waiting to infiltrate into Indian soil.